Simone de Beauvoir, 1908 to 1981, Philosophy and the Second Sex.
Hello, welcome to the Academy for Modern Stoic. In today's video, we will explore the life and work of Simone de Beauvoir, one of the most influential philosophers of the 20th century. Known for her contributions to existentialism and feminism, Beauvoir also offers us valuable insights that resonate with the principles of Stoicism, especially in relation to the search for authenticity and the fight against oppression.
1908, birth and childhood.
Simone de Beauvoir was born on January 9, 1908, in Paris, France, into an upper-middle-class family. From an early age, Simone was introduced to an environment of intellectual rigor and education, which shaped her future career as a philosopher and writer. Her father, Georges Bertrand de Beauvoir, firmly believed in the importance of education and, although he was traditional in many ways, encouraged Simone to explore literature and philosophy. Her mother, Françoise Brasseur, a devout Catholic, provided her with a rigorous moral outlook, which Simone would later question and reject. The rigorous education Simone received from childhood can be compared to the Stoic concept of ascesis, the disciplined practice of intellectual and moral training. Just as the Stoics defended the importance of self-knowledge and continuous improvement, Simone demonstrated from an early age a deep interest in understanding and questioning the world around her. Simone de Beauvoir's early years reflect the importance of intellectual and moral development that is central to both existentialism and Stoicism. Stoics, such as Epictetus, emphasize the importance of cultivating reason and virtue from youth. Education, from childhood, should aim to ensure that the child learns to find pleasure in that which gives him an advantage, said Epictetus. This approach to education and self-development, evident in Beauvoir's life, demonstrates how philosophy can serve as a powerful tool for personal and social transformation. Beauvoir's relentless search for knowledge and understanding is an example of how we can apply Stoic principles to our own lives to achieve a state of balance and purpose. So, get ready for an inspiring journey through the life of Simone de Beauvoir, where we explore how her ideas and experiences intertwine with Stoic wisdom, offering us deep insights into authenticity, freedom, and the fight against oppression. Stay with us and discover how this remarkable philosopher can guide us in the search for a fuller and more meaningful life.
1926, meeting Sartre.
In 1926, Simone de Beauvoir entered the prestigious École Normale Supérieure, an institution known for training some of France's greatest intellectuals. It was there that she met Jean-Paul Sartre, who would become not only her intellectual partner but also her lifelong romantic companion. This meeting marked the beginning of a partnership that would profoundly influence existentialist philosophy and modern thought. The relationship between Beauvoir and Sartre was based on a mutual understanding and a shared commitment to the search for truth and individual freedom. Both rejected traditional social conventions and chose to live according to their own principles, an act of authenticity that resonates strongly with Stoicism. Beauvoir's encounter with Sartre can be seen through the Stoic lens of wise friendship. Stoics, like Seneca, believed that true friendship was based on virtue and mutual wisdom. Seneca said, "A friend is one who helps to elevate our spirit." Beauvoir and Sartre exemplified this, inspiring each other to explore deep philosophical questions and challenge society's established norms. Beauvoir and Sartre's decision to maintain an open relationship based on honesty and mutual respect also reflects the Stoic ideals of living in accordance with reason and nature. They refused to be restricted by social expectations and sought to live authentic lives aligned with their personal values. Furthermore, the intellectual collaboration between Beauvoir and Sartre illustrates the Stoic concept of sympathia, the interconnection and solidarity between human beings. Together, they explored existential and ethical questions, contributing to a deeper understanding of the human condition and promoting a philosophy that encouraged freedom and individual responsibility. Simone de Beauvoir's entry into the École Normale Supérieure and her meeting with Jean-Paul Sartre were decisive moments in her life. This relationship not only shaped his philosophical career, but also exemplified fundamental Stoic principles such as friendship based on virtue and the pursuit of authenticity. As we delve deeper into Beauvoir's life, we will continue to see how her experiences and ideas reflect and enrich Stoic wisdom, offering us valuable lessons for our own philosophical journeys.
1929. Academic training.
In 1929, Simone de Beauvoir graduated in philosophy from the École Normale Supérieure, solidifying her intellectual and academic foundation. After graduation, she began teaching philosophy in secondary schools, a role she held until 1943. During this period, Beauvoir deepened her philosophical understanding and developed many of the ideas that would later influence her major works. Beauvoir's academic background and dedication to teaching reflect the Stoic emphasis on education and the development of reason. Stoics, such as Marcus Aurelius, believed that education was fundamental to personal growth and the practice of virtue. Marco Aurelio stated, "The art of living is more like fighting than dancing, in the sense that it requires being prepared and firm against unexpected blows." Beauvoir, upon graduating and dedicating herself to teaching, exemplified this commitment to education and the search for knowledge. Her role as a teacher allowed her to influence young minds and spread philosophical ideas that challenged social norms and encouraged critical reflection.
1931. The second sex.
In 1931, Simone de Beauvoir began work on her most famous work, The Second Sex. Published in 1943, this seminal study explored the oppression of women in society and became a landmark of modern feminism. The Second Sex addressed the social construction of gender and the way women have historically been subjugated and marginalized. Beauvoir's analysis of women's oppression can be viewed through the Stoic lens of apatheia, which is the ability to maintain calm and mental clarity in the face of adversity. The Stoics believe that true freedom comes from controlling our reactions and emotions, not external circumstances. Beauvoir, in her work, argues that women must seek this internal freedom, questioning and challenging the social constructions that limit their lives. Epictetus, one of the main Stoic philosophers, taught that we should focus on what is within our control and accept what is not. In The Second Sex, Beauvoir echoes this idea by advocating that women take control of their lives and fight against oppression, seeking an authentic existence free from external impositions.
1936. Travels and political engagement.
In 1936, Simone de Beauvoir embarked on a series of trips across Europe with Jean-Paul Sartre. During these trips, they had the opportunity to meet avant-garde intellectuals and artists, which broadened their horizons and profoundly influenced their thinking. Additionally, Beauvoir became actively involved in left-wing movements, becoming a prominent voice in the fight against fascism and for social justice. Beauvoir's travels across Europe and her political engagement reflect Stoicism in practice, especially with regard to the concept of civic virtue. The Stoics believed that living in accordance with virtue included contributing to the common good and fighting injustice. Marcus Aurelius, in his Meditations, often reflected on the importance of acting justly and serving humanity. Beauvoir exemplified this virtue by getting involved in social and political causes, demonstrating courage and commitment to improving society. His fight against fascism and his defense of social justice echo the Stoic ideal of acting with wisdom and justice, regardless of the difficulties encountered along the way.
1943. Publication of The Second Sex.
In 1943, Simone de Beauvoir published The Second Sex, a work that had a great impact and became a landmark of modern feminism. The book examined the oppression of women in society, challenging patriarchal norms and promoting gender equality. Although initially criticized by some sectors, the work quickly gained international recognition and was translated into several languages. The publication of The Second Sex can be seen as an act of Stoic courage. Epictetus taught that we must have the courage to tell the truth and live according to our principles, even in the face of opposition. Beauvoir did just that by publishing a work that challenged established conventions and faced severe criticism. Furthermore, The Second Sex promotes the Stoic idea of self-knowledge and self-improvement. The Stoics believe that true freedom comes from understanding oneself and overcoming the limitations imposed by society. Beauvoir encouraged women to question their social role and to seek an authentic existence, free from external impositions, reflecting the Stoic ideal of living in accordance with one's own nature and reason. Simone de Beauvoir's travels and political engagement, as well as the publication of The Second Sex, illustrate her commitment to social justice and individual freedom. These experiences and realizations not only shaped his philosophical thinking, but also resonated with Stoic principles of civic virtue, courage, and self-knowledge. By exploring these phases of her life, we see how Beauvoir incorporated Stoic values into her fight for equality and truth, offering us valuable lessons for our own philosophical journey.
1949. Publication of the Mandarins.
In 1949, Simone de Beauvoir published The Mandarins, a novel that portrays the lives of a group of left-wing intellectuals in post-war France. The work explores the complexities of human relationships, moral dilemmas, and political choices faced by the characters, offering a deep insight into the social and personal tensions of their time. The Mandarins reflects the influence of Stoic thought when addressing themes such as moral integrity and resistance in the face of adversity. The Stoics believed that true wisdom lies in the ability to maintain serenity and virtue, even in the midst of difficulties and conflicts. Likewise, Beauvoir's characters face existential and political crises, seeking to live according to their principles in a tumultuous world. Epictetus, in his lessons, emphasized the importance of focusing on what is within our control and accepting what is not. The Mandarins explores this dichotomy through the dilemmas faced by the characters, highlighting the need for courage and resilience in the face of life's uncertainties. Beauvoir reminds us, as do the Stoics, that integrity and virtue are fundamental, even when faced with difficult choices and challenging circumstances.
1954. Publication of The Old Age.
In 1954, Simone de Beauvoir published the essay Old Age, a profound reflection on aging and death. In the essay, Beauvoir examines how society treats the elderly and how perceptions about aging affect people's dignity and self-esteem. The work is a call to awareness and respect for the experience and wisdom of elders. Old age is closely linked to Stoic thought, especially in reflections on mortality and the accessibility of the life cycle. Stoics, like Seneca, considered meditation on death an essential practice for living a full and virtuous life. Seneca wrote extensively about the importance of accepting death as a natural part of existence without fear or resistance. Beauvoir, in addressing aging and death, echoes this Stoic wisdom by promoting a deeper and more compassionate understanding of these stages of life. She challenges social norms that marginalize older people, defending a vision of aging that values dignity and wisdom acquired over time. Like the Stoics, Beauvoir encourages us to face mortality with courage and find meaning in every stage of life. Simone de Beauvoir's publications, The Mandarins and The Old Age, highlight her ability to address complex and relevant topics with philosophical depth and empathy. Both works resonate with Stoic principles such as moral integrity, the accessibility of mortality, and the importance of dignity at all stages of life. By exploring these works, we see how Beauvoir integrates these values into her philosophy, offering valuable insights for those seeking to live up to Stoic ideals.
1960. Publication of Ye Memoirs of a Young Feminist.
In 1960, Simone de Beauvoir published her memoirs, entitled Memoirs of a Young Feminist. This book offers an intimate and detailed account of his intellectual and political formation, revealing the experiences and influences that shaped his philosophy and activism. The work is a journey through Beauvoir's thoughts and emotions, providing a deep insight into her evolution as a thinker and defender of women's rights. Memoirs of a Young Feminist reflects the Stoic practice of self-examination and reflection on one's life. The Stoics, like Marcus Aurelius in his Meditations, dedicated themselves to introspection as a way of understanding and improving themselves. Likewise, Beauvoir revisits her youth with a critical and honest look, seeking to understand the roots of her convictions and actions. Epictetus advised the practice of self-observation to develop wisdom and virtue. Beauvoir, in narrating her experiences, exemplifies this practice by examining how her ideas about freedom, justice, and equality developed over time. His journey of self-discovery and growth resonates with the Stoic principles of seeking truth and personal improvement.
Death of Sartre, 1970.
On April 15th, 1970, Jean-Paul Sartre passed away in Paris. Sartre's death marked a moment of profound personal and intellectual loss for Simone de Beauvoir. In the following years, she dedicated herself to writing about her relationship with Sartre and continuing her fight for women's rights, reflecting on the mutual influence they had on their lives and works. Beauvoir's reaction to Sartre's death can be seen in the light of Stoicism, which teaches how to face loss with dignity and resilience. Seneca, in his letters, talks about the inevitability of death and the importance of accepting the loss of loved ones as part of life. Beauvoir, in dealing with Sartre's death, exemplifies this stoic acceptance, continuing her work and honoring Sartre's memory through her writings. Beauvoir did not allow herself to be paralyzed by grief. Instead, he used his pain as fuel for his activism and intellectual production. This response is in line with the Stoic idea that while we cannot control external events, we can control our response to them while maintaining serenity and purpose.
1981, death.
On April 30th, 1981, Simone de Beauvoir passed away in Paris, aged 73. His death marked the end of a life dedicated to philosophy, literature, feminism, and the defense of human rights. Beauvoir left an immense legacy as a thinker and activist, influencing generations with her ideas about freedom, equality, and justice. Simone de Beauvoir's legacy is deeply aligned with the Stoic principles of living a life of virtue and purpose. Like the Stoics, Beauvoir valued integrity, justice, and the search for truth. His work and life exemplify the importance of fighting for a more just and equal world, facing adversity with courage and determination. Marcus Aurelius, in his Meditations, wrote, "What matters is not what happens to you, but how you react to it." Beauvoir, through her actions and writings, demonstrated this philosophy, facing her life's challenges with resilience and commitment. His legacy continues to inspire those who seek to live up to Stoic ideals, promoting wisdom, justice, and courage in the search for a better world.
Final considerations.
Simone de Beauvoir was one of the most important figures in 20th century literature, and her work continues to have a significant impact on contemporary philosophy, literature, feminism, and culture. Her existentialist and feminist philosophy challenged social norms and inspired generations of women to question their role in society. Beauvoir was a prolific and talented writer who explored diverse themes in her novels, short stories, plays, and essays. If you liked the video, subscribe to our channel and follow the story of the lives and works of many other renowned authors and characters who left their mark on world art and literature.